Michigan's first gay attorney general says there should be a drag queen for every school. A Michigan attorney general is facing criticism after she suggested that there should be a drag queen for every school. This is Attorney General Dana Nessel is her name. Nessel's the first openly gay person voted into statewide office in Michigan. Drag queens make everything better. Drag queens are fun, she said. Who wrote that for her? Does that not sound weird? Who talks like that? She's quoted by the Detroit News, and then she says a drag queen for every school, which she told this reporter. And the reporter went on to tweet that Nessel admitted her comment had not been poll tested. You don't say. You don't say that that hadn't been poll tested. Maybe if it had been poll tested, she wouldn't have said it, because that's not going to be a popular statement. I don't care, Republican, Democrat, you have a family, you're thinking about, things are getting crazy, real crazy and real fast. This was the response by Matt DePerno, the Republican candidate for Attorney General in that state. Great response. Students in the third grade are behind on their reading. Our test scores are some of the worst in the country thanks to these disastrous COVID lockdowns, and she calls for drag shows for kindergartners. Fantastic response. Didn't go for a personal attack, didn't call her a dummy. That was pretty dumb, what she said. But didn't do any of that. Just said, these are your priorities? And I think that's an important point. We just talked about, what are the strengths of the Democrat Party? Where are they? Where are their priorities? The country is in many ways falling apart at the seams. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. People can't afford to pay for gas. Okay? They can't afford to put gas in their car. You have kids that are so far behind in school because of these lockdown policies and because of these remote learning policies. These kids are so far behind that teachers are struggling now to how do we catch them up? There were kids that had disabilities that couldn't learn with masks on. I mean, there are big things that happen in families this year. There were parents, one parent had to, quit a job and stay home and deal with all this remote learning. There was income that was lost in households. Parents are upset. They want answers. They don't understand what was going on with the school closures. And they found out that those talking points were being, the teachers union and the CDC working together on talking points. Maybe that wasn't so popular for parents who were struggling at home to put food on the table. You don't say. This is the kind of answer that needs to be given. Where are your priorities? You're talking about putting drag queens in schools for storytelling when people are still trying to figure out how to pay their bills. You know how many families right now in the country are living paycheck to paycheck? I come from a family that was like that for a while. It was a struggle. You had to figure out, okay, can we take a vacation this year? Okay, let's save our money for that vacation. My parents saved all of their money to be able to put me in the best school on Staten Island because they felt like education was the key to success. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into those sacrifices. There are families like that all around the country. You think they want to hear you prioritizing, let's bring a drag queen and do makeup lessons at school. No, they don't. They don't. So this is a phenomenal answer. The reason I juxtapose these stories is because the Hillary Clinton story, Hillary Clinton is where the Democrat Party was. That's like, Obama saying, we're going to, mandate everyone to have health insurance. That was Democrats. It was big government, but it was sane big government. Now it's, let's put a drag queen in every school and you have to get a mandatory experimental vaccine or you're going to lose your job. Slippery slope. Real slippery again. Okay. Also, important to note, there's a lot of phonies in this game. So I don't know. I sit here and I think sometimes, do these politicians really stand for what they say they stand for? I don't know. I distrust politicians by nature. So you got to dig deep on these things sometimes. When you vote, you got to figure out how do you separate the fact from the fiction? How do you separate the phonies from the non-phonies? That's why I brought out Bernie. I disagree with Bernie on almost everything. I don't think he's a phony. Hillary Clinton is a phony. She says what needs to be said. I think AOC is a phony, says what needs to be said. Sift through the phonies. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.